diabetes. I have learned not to just blindly trust what my doctors are telling me. I need to start learning more about my diabetes.
If I put that insulin in my body, I really need to eat in 15 or 20 minutes or whatever I planned for. Because when I don't eat, I will go really low really fast.
I don't think diabetes is random. I think there's a lot of moving parts, which can make it seem really chaotic. But as we start to understand some of the main components, for me at least, life became much easier.
At that point, it kind of hit me and I realized, okay, if I don't change something, I might not be able to see again. Hey everyone, welcome to the Diabetes Unlocked podcast. I'm Tom.
And I'm Christelle, and together we have over 60 years of experience living with type 1 diabetes.
That's right, 60 plus years, but we haven't always gotten it right. So in this episode, we'll be sharing our biggest diabetes mistakes and more importantly, what we learned from them. Let's get into it.
I want to start with you today, Tom, because I know that you have a little bit of a rebel strike to you. You kind of, based on our discussions previously, you know, about your diabetes story, growing up with diabetes, it sounds like you're not always good with, well, people telling you what to do and authorities in general. So you just being you, also being young with diabetes, what would you say are some of the sort of the major mistakes that you had to make for yourself? And sort of what have you learned from it?
Yeah, I'm a rebel, that's right. And I made a lot of mistakes when I was a teenager, some of them knowingly, some of them not even knowing that I'm making mistakes. But what I want to say before I get into it is we're not doing this episode to make anyone feel bad because they're making the kind of mistake I was making or you were making. We just want to talk about what we've done in the past, what we learned from our mistakes and what kind of helped us to get on the right track. Because I think both of us are right now in a good spot with, you know, living with type 1, accepting that we have type 1 and sort of managing our life the way we want. And I think we're quite happy with where we are right now. So if anyone is not in that spot right now, we don't want you to blame yourself or feel bad about it. We just really want to have an open conversation. And I'm already getting a bit emotional because it's not my it's not my strengths to talk about my mistakes. And so, you know, you said when I was a teenager, I was rebellious. I didn't really care that much about my diabetes. And I think when I was thinking about it before we started recording is the reason for that was I didn't really accept that I have diabetes. I just wanted to be normal. I wanted to do all the things that my friends were doing. And I didn't want to care about my diabetes, checking my blood sugar, eating well, counting carbs, and all those things that go with it. And I remember when I was 15 or 16, my HbA1c was the highest HbA1c I ever had. It was 13.3%. Just to give you an idea, that means that my average blood sugar during that time was, I looked it up today, 335 milligrams per deciliter or 18.3 millimole, which is like really high blood sugar. And thinking back about this time is I was running with high blood sugar, sort of half intentionally, half because I didn't know any better, because I didn't want to deal with hypo and I didn't even feel bad physically. My blood sugar was super high, but my body was used to it. So I actually felt quite fine. But I'm sure that back then I did a lot of damage to my body. And I think it was a mistake that I might pay off later on. We don't know, you know, but I'm sure I did a lot of damage to my body and that was a mistake. I wish I could go back and do a lot of things differently. But it took me a lot of time to realize, to find my way to accept that I have type 1 diabetes and find my way around it, if that makes sense. And I sort of needed to find my why I should actually care. You know, what's the why for me, why I should manage the condition as good as I can and what's in it for me. And that took me a really, really long time. But I think I found a few whys and that's why I got to a better spot now.